Welcome, Sandeep. I'm so happy to get to talk to you about your business and your experience at the Spur. Welcome.
Thanks, Laurel. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's my pleasure. Tell me how you ended up in the Hamptons and the Spur. You know, a little bit of, before we talk about your business that you have now, tell me a little bit about your background and what brought you to the Hamptons.
Okay, sure. So, my in-laws, they own a few gas stations in here. So, before this, I was working in Seattle for a pure play data analytics company, and I was working at one of the largest telecom companies in the world. And then I thought about my business idea, and I thought, okay, I did my research, and I thought, okay, let me do my startup. And it, rather than being in Seattle all alone, I thought it's better to move to the Hamptons, closer to family. I have a 1.5-year-old daughter now. She was just born at that time, so we thought we could use all the family help that we could get, and that's how I ended up in the Hamptons. And when it comes to why the Spur, so I have been coming to Spur events for quite some time. It's been like 9 or 10 months. They organize great events, and I always find it like-minded people who could I talk to, who could I relate to. And once I started my company, once I rolled it out like 3 months back, that's when I thought, okay, let me be here in the mix of all the things to really take advantage of all the resources that the Spur has.
So let's go back a little further. So
Okay.
you grew up where?
So I grew up in New Delhi, India, and I did my schooling there. I did my engineering, then my MBA from pretty reputed institutions in India, and then I worked in IT for about 4 years over there, and then I came to the States, and then I worked in IT for some more time, and then I had my first startup, which eventually did not take off, and then I joined data analytics, and then I'm on to my second startup right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this startup.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Tell us about the name and tell me about where the idea came from, because it's, when I look at you as a man from India and I hear what the product is, there seems to be a mismatch. So
Yes.
fill in the gap for me.
Definitely. So, Choltry is a direct-to-consumer fashion startup that empowers budget-conscious women to wear new styles to look their best without spending hundreds of dollars. In essence, we are both our fashion brand as well as an on-demand rental service, and this synergy allows us to rent our premium dresses that you see over here for just $9.95 for a week, and that includes free dry cleaning and free shipping both ways. So essentially, in a nutshell, that's the idea. Coming to how I came up with this idea was, one day my wife, she was reorganizing her closet, and I saw a couple of dresses in the current job that she has been since I've been married to her. She mostly wears smart casuals to her work. Then when I saw those dresses, I was like, I didn't know you owned these workwear. And she said, yes, I was doing this internship at a big law firm in the city. And then she said, I bought them when I was doing my internship. And she said that was very hard because she was getting very limited, payment at that time. And she had to invest in these $100, $150 dresses. And I was like, this does not make sense. I mean, how could you even afford that thing? And she was like, yes, it was really hard, and then we got on talking that how it's very hard, not even just for women who are doing internship, but who are into their first job and who are like into early their careers, and they have to pay off their student loans, they have to pay for rent, food, gas, car insurance, so many expenses. And to buy a $100, $200 dress and then spend $12 to $15 each and every time you wear it to dry clean it, that's where the cost adds up. And then I talked to a friend in India, and I was like, hey, how much does the dress really cost? And I was just surprised, very surprised at the cost and what it sells for. And that's where I thought there is this problem that I need to solve. essentially keeping my offering less than the dry cleaning cost itself. So that's how the idea came about.
So your price point is less than what we would pay to dry clean this dress.
Yes. So
That's amazing.
yeah. So like if you go to a typical dry cleaning, you pay like $12 or $15. We rent this out for $9.95, and everything is included in that, and you rent it for a week, and you can wear it as many times as you want.
Yeah, I'm curious about the problem because it's been a long time since I was an intern, but I did have that problem many years ago. You get out of school, you have to dress a certain way, and you're not, sometimes interns aren't paid anything.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the problem of looking great and being fashionable at a low price is an amazing problem to solve.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I completely agree with you. So again, if you look at it, like, the core problem that we are solving is related to the advancement of the young American women. So career growth for them is far more challenging than men. They have to work as hard as men, and on top of that, they have to create the right perception. And the way you dress goes a long way in forming that correct opinion about yourself. Now, as I said, if you are buying a $100 dress that's out of your budget, and on top of that you are spending like $15 on dry cleaning it, it's a very, very big cost to you. And at that point of time, you are just building your work wardrobe. You necessarily don't have like a real idea where do you want to end up in terms of work wardrobe. And that's where we come in. You try our dresses, you try the new styles, and see what kind of workwear do you really want to own long term. So that's where we help.
So you can also try different styles on and get to know your style before you invest.
Yes, exactly. Our total collection has about 27 different styles. Each one has got a different element to it, that makes it wonderful. So there are so many styles that you can choose from. And we offer 4 sizes, right from small to extra large. So you can definitely try it out. Yeah.
So the name of your company is Choltree, is that right?
Choltree, yeah, that's correct.
.com.
Yes.
And tell me about the name.
Yeah. So essentially, the name in my language, it means a place to rest. So we want our startup, our company, to be a place where women can come in and they can be very relaxed in terms of be assured that they're going to get very good quality dresses for a very, very affordable price. There is so much stress that a woman has to go through, right? Be it works, be it family, and there are only 24 hours in a day, right? So that's where we want you to save time rather than looking for like 100 different places to find a good dress. This can be a place to relax, and you can find a dress that you're looking for.
And it's focused on working dresses for the most part, or party dresses also?
So it's mostly workwear that transforms to evening wear, that if you're going for like happy hour or evening cocktails with your friends, so you don't have to essentially go out and change a dress. So we have purposefully keep them elegant and yet stylish, so that they're appropriate both for workwear as well as like evening when you go out in the evening with your colleagues. So yeah.
So from a business perspective, I don't want you to give away your secrets, but how do you provide a beautiful dress, a designer dress, for a week, and shipping, and dry cleaning for $9.95? How do you do that?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think the simple answer to it is, and that goes with every startup, it's all about building the right partnerships.
Yeah.
So if you have the right partners, I started working on my startup in May of 2018. And we launched it like 3 months back in April 2019.
That's amazing. You did it in less than a year.
Yeah, thank you.
And you had a daughter in there somewhere.
Yes.
Right?
So, she was already like 6 months old when I started working on it. Yeah, she was pretty small. So, it's the 9 months that went before launching the startup. It was all about strategy. It was all about finding the right partners. it's all about being cost effective wherever you can be. So I come from India, and uh, we, I mean, we look, when we see something, we look at the value and not the price. So that's essentially how I have been raised, you know, to not look at the price, but look at the value, what it is providing. Now, if you look at the value that, you know, Choltry provides it, you look at the design, you look at the quality of the fabric, you look at, so we do expedited shipping, you look at the speed at which we, you know, send the dresses out, you look at, you know, there's no dry cleaning involved for you, you don't even have to clean it. We send you a prepaid return shipping bag, you wear it, you just throw it in there and then ship it back to us, and we take care of that. So it's all about the value that we are providing for that $9.95, you know, for price. Yeah.
So you've been up and running, open for business for 3 months.
Yes.
What have your wins been?
So I think the biggest wins that I have is when I talk to someone, you know, I see that there is a problem that I'm really solving. You know, there's never been a case where I have talked to someone and they're like, nah, I already have something like this. I'm like, they're always excited to learn more about it. So I think that's something, because I've seen that personally, that gives me the most satisfaction. In terms of figures, you know, we have grown like 100% in the past month.
Congratulations,
So
that's awesome.
Thank you so much. So that has been something that, you know, I mean, that gives you confidence that what you're doing is on the right track. And also, you know, I mean, of course, you know, we're a startup, so there are plentiful opportunities out there that we can capture. So the next stage that we really want to lean into is to make our growth even faster, to reach out to even more women and, you know, tell them more about what we are doing, what problem we are solving for them.
And how are you marketing so far?
So I have done a bunch of stuff in terms of marketing. You know, I started out with Instagram with a very focused approach, but then, you know, I realized that as a startup, you know, Instagram is good, you need to have presence over there, but on top of that, you also need to have personal relationships, because as a startup, you have to talk about it a lot. So that's where, you know, I have attended, you know, professional women meetings, and I have talked to them, I have created relationships with them. Then I have also, you know, participated in a fashion show which the Spur organized a few weeks back.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of things are going on. It's not just social media that we are focusing on, but it has to be a holistic approach that you have to endeavor to reach where you want to reach ultimately.
Sandeep, tell me about the long-term vision for this amazing company.
Yeah, so I think that's a very interesting question, and that's something that I think about, I strategize about. So we want to stick to the core of our company, and our motto is "Wear fearlessly." And we always want to solve a pain point that brings value to our customers. In 5 years down the line, of course, you know, we see ourselves growing beyond just workwear for women, and including like more smart casuals and casual wear for women. Mind you, I mean, the women fashion industry just in the US, it's about $117 billion. So that's a very, very big market to capture. And we hope that when we solve a real problem, we'll be able to make our mark, you know, in this market. And eventually, of course, you know, we want to get into menswear and something, but that is something far, you know, down the line. First, we want to handle our core that we started with. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm amazed that you came to this country 5 years ago. You mastered corporate career in tech, and this is your second startup.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me that you've accomplished all that.
Thank you.
I'm curious, when you go to talk to women professionals and they see a young man coming to tell them about dresses, how are you received?
I think initially I'm received with a bit of skepticism, which is like, okay, I mean, you are talking about my fashion. So, but, you know, I think I relate to their problem. And the reason I relate to is I'm an immigrant. When I came to this country, I'm a minority. I have to work as hard as men, and on top of that, I also had to create the right perception. And I saw that in corporate America, women are also a minority. They also have to create. They have to go over and beyond just the work, not just accelerate it, but also make sure people perceive them the right way. And that's where I could relate to them, that they are facing the same problem, and what I faced when I was working in corporate America. And then when I tell them about my struggles, they can relate to it. And then when I show them the dresses, that's where the pleasant surprise comes into play. And they are like, okay, really, you are renting this for $9.95? That's amazing. So yeah, I think it goes from skepticism to earning their confidence and then surprising them with what I have. Yeah.
I think it is amazing as someone that appreciates fashion and a bargain. So I'm curious, where are the dresses designed? Where are they made? Where are they shipped from? Tell us a little bit about the operations behind the magic.
Sure. So I think operations play a very big part in terms of how we are able to deliver the value that we are proud about. So in terms of my team, I have a designer, I have a merchandiser, I have a manufacturing partner, I have a fabric supplier, and I also have a social media marketing person on board. So in terms of the operations, so we started out with what we wanted to do, what we wanted to achieve. And once we had figured out that we want to focus on workwear, that's where the magic started happening. We created about, I think, 150 designs initially, and then we picked out the 27 that you currently see on our website, and we have essentially divided them into two collections, elegant and chic. Elegant being more like for very elegant dresses, very appropriate for workwear, and chic is more like if you want to make a statement. Then after we finalized the designs, the 27 designs, we were looking for a manufacturing partner, and that's where we made sure that our manufacturing partner, he paid the wages well. They were good working conditions. So our partner is in India, so we made sure that all those things were already in place. I'm very proud to have a very good fabric supplier who supplies to big companies that you hear about in the US, and he helped us a lot in fabric goes a long way, the color of it, the weight of it, the way it fits your body. So it's a great team effort. In the US, I am very happy in terms of the dry cleaning partner that I have and the shipping partner. My shipping partner is FedEx, who give me expedited shipping. Recently I shipped an order to California. The customer, she ordered it on a Monday and she received it on Thursday. So that's pretty amazing speed. I fulfilled the order from my side on Tuesday, and just takes 2 days to reach all the way from New York to California. I mean, that's amazing speed.
Yeah. As a business startup entrepreneur, I would call you a launcher. You're launching a new enterprise. And I know that picking your people in this phase is really important. And it sounds like you have an amazing team and you'll continue to work on that. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I think for any startup, execution is the key, and team plays the biggest part in making a startup successful. I've seen many entrepreneurs who are like very cautious about their idea. I don't want to give it away. I can assure you, I told my idea to hundreds, thousands of people before I started out. In the end, it all comes down to team. Who you have in your team? Do you have confidence in the team? And in terms of the way I work with the team, I am very cautious about who I bring on the team. But once my partner is on the team, that's where the magic happens. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about strategy. We talk about what needs to get executed. But then I give them a very free flow hand in terms of execution. Of course, we have regular catch-ups in terms of, we decide some metrics, how we're doing on that. And, if my team member needs any help, any support from my end. So I completely agree with you. It's all about team. It's a team effort.
Sandeep, tell me about this design.
Sure. So the name of this dress is Diamond Neck Dress, and it holds a very special place in my heart. It has like a great design. You look at the flared neckline, the princess seam, the asymmetrical hemline, and if you touch the fabric, it's very, very high quality, which the weight of it gives it a very body-fitting look.
Thank you so much for your time today. I'm happy that we got to spend time in a space where you're launching your baby.
Thank you.
I'm really excited about your mission. Is there anything else you want to say about you or your company?
So what I like to say is, please go and check out our website. We are trying to solve a real problem. We want you to have the best experience. Just give us a chance, and I'm sure you'll be delighted with our service.
Well, and as a witness to this dress, people should check it out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.